You think clicking delete wipes the slate clean? Think again. Your digital ghost is currently being auctioned off to the highest bidder while you sleep, right under your nose. Look, I am peeling back the curtain on why your fresh start is a total fabrication. We're investigating the architecture of the digital death industry and why the buttons we trust are actually just clever psychological pacifiers. It is a brilliant bit of theater, really, designed to make you feel in control, whilst the back-end systems keep every scrap of your history on life support. This is not just about privacy. It is about the commodification of your identity long after you have tried to kill it. Think about the last time you deactivated an account. You clicked that little gray button, felt a brief surge of digital minimalism, and went about your day. But in the shadows of the web, nothing actually died. In the world of cybersecurity, we call this the soft delete. It is the industry standard lie. You see, when you tell a platform to forget you, they do not shred the documents. They just move them to a different folder, one that is tucked away from your eyes but perfectly visible to the scrappers and the data miners. I have spent weeks looking into how these digital ghosts are packaged. Your old location data, those deleted messages from 3 years ago, even the browsing habits you thought were gone. They are all part of a persistent profile. There is a bloody massive economy built on the bones of your digital past. Data brokers call it long-tail retention. I call it a haunting. We are living in a reality where your past is more profitable than your present, and the tech giants have no intention of letting you rest in peace. The architecture of the modern web was never built for forgetting. It was built for total recall. Every database entry has a shadow, a backup of a backup, often stored in a jurisdiction where your right to be forgotten is quite literally a punchline. Companies have realized that a deleted user is often more valuable than an active one, because a deleted user thinks they are invisible. You stop being careful, right? But the algorithms never stop watching the empty space where you used to be. Look, this protocol is not an accident. It is an engineering choice. It is a system designed to ensure that even if you walk away from the screen, your data remains an active asset on a balance sheet. I'm going to show you.
See, when you hit delete, you aren't actually wiping a hard drive. You are simply sending a request to a database to flip a single bit from 1 to 0. In the industry, we call this a soft delete. Your entry isn't purged, it's just hidden from the interface. You haven't actually deleted your data. You've just lost your own access to it. And whilst you think you've cleared the slate, the machine keeps churning your ghost through its analytical engines. But it gets darker. I mean, way darker. Even if you manage to scrub your primary account, the algorithm has likely already birthed what's known as a shadow profile. This is the version of you that lives in the gaps. It's the metadata you leaked through your contacts, the trackers that logged your behavior before you even signed up. It's every single digital crumb you ever left on a third-party app. Look, think of it like this. If your online presence is a house, clicking delete doesn't burn the building down. It just takes your name off the mailbox. The structure, the history, the value of that property is still being traded on the open market. Data brokers have already ingested your metadata, linking your old habits to your new anonymous sessions. You are essentially trying to outrun your own shadow. And in this ecosystem, the sun never sets. The machine doesn't need your permission to keep your ghost on the payroll. It just needs you to believe that the button actually worked.
The reality is that you are no longer just a person. You are a bloody, massive collection of data points that have been bought and sold 1,000 times over. And once that data is out there, it never truly goes away. But here's the thing. that's not even the most unsettling part. Because whilst you are busy trying to delete your past, the industry is already using that data to predict your future. And the way they are doing it, well, it involves a hidden layer of the internet that most people don't even know exists. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Attempting to hit that total reset button, it's effectively social suicide. Think about it. We live in a world that demands a LinkedIn for a job and an Instagram just to have a social life. Deleting yourself isn't just difficult, it's a form of self-sabotage. You become a suspicious outlier, a blank space, something the system quite literally doesn't know how to process. And that's a massive red flag to the very entities you're trying to avoid. So, I'm proposing a different strategy. You don't need to become a ghost. You need to become a glitch. Look, the goal shouldn't be to vanish into thin air. It's about staying in the machine, whilst making yourself utterly useless to it. You do this by poisoning your data with noise. See, data brokers and advertising algorithms value one thing above all else: predictability. They want to know exactly who you are, what you want, and what you're going to do next. All so they can sell that certainty to the highest bidder. If you can make yourself too expensive to track, you win. This is tactical misinformation. Look, think of your digital profile like a high-resolution photograph. If you delete a few pixels here and there, the image remains clear. But if you flood that photograph with thousands of random, conflicting, and contradictory pixels, the image becomes a distorted mess. It's useless to the buyers, right? I'm talking about feeding the algorithm a diet of pure, unadulterated nonsense. Browsing for products you'll never